Have fun, be safe. How many of us heard those words as we left our homes as kids? I know I did. I've also heard those exact words come out of my mouth as my children race out the door. Let's figure out what those time-honored mom words might mean in action today on Hometown. Never ever underestimate the importance of having fun, educator Randy Pausch noted. In many ways, fun is the magic ingredient of childhood learning, and we should also embrace it as adults. It lifts our spirits and makes learning new things a lot more interesting. Outdoor weather's finally here, and the last school bell has rung. So no matter how old we are, we remember that final day of school, running into the sunshine, and starting to plan our summer adventures. Today we explore places where we can have fun this summer and talk to people who keep us safe while we do it. From the Parks and Recreation Department to our fire and rescue teams, everyone is gearing up for have fun, stay safe. Let's explore summer in Walla Walla, a fundamental ingredient in the remarkable story of us.
What a privilege to be here at Walla Walla County Fire District 4 with you, Rocky Eastman. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to get to visit with you this afternoon about some important topics.
Yes, absolutely. So as summer is starting and we're all excited, kids are out of school and the activities of summer are coming, there's some things that we should probably think about in regards to safety.
Yes.
So as summer approaches, what are some things that as here at the fire department that you are aware of as you're talking with your EMS staff here?
Well, I think one of the first things that we need to talk about is with kids being out of school is pedestrian and vehicle safety. You know, having the children out on the streets more during the summer, it's very important for our citizens to take that extra visualization as they're driving down the street or at the intersections that we may have children out on the streets, what typically they'd be in the school time. So I think that's one of the first things to be aware of. You know, the next thing that we are concerned with is that our children, they're busy, you know, and any time it goes, whether it's children or adults, we see more activity with incidents during the summer months than compared to other months, because people are out doing things.
Yeah.
You know, they're out recreating, they're moving around, and so those types you start thinking about, okay, what are they doing recreating? You know, bicycling, our children are bicycling, and so it's important for, you know, us to take that into account about bicycle safety, having the children and even adults wearing your helmet when you're out on a bike. You know, that's another one that's important. Water safety, whether you're recreating in your swimming pool or recreating out at the river or the lake, you know, making sure that you know how to swim is the first and foremost thing anytime you're around water. And then also having your protective devices if you are around a lake, or is having those life jackets. And
life jacket.
Yeah, you know, that's really important. And if you're out boating, making sure that you have all the required things that the Coast Guard requires for you in your boat, which is the life jackets, the fire extinguisher, the throwable device, you know, the horn. All those things are really important for you to just think about before you start going out and recreating. So I think those are some of the things, just as we start looking and getting into summer, that it's important to think about.
Yeah, well, and the life jacket, having grown up on an island and now live in Eastern Washington, where we do have a lot of water around us, that life jacket is very important. But like what you're saying, as we get excited, and then sometimes we're not thinking about the protective things. So
yes, yeah, and that's, you know, it's easy to do that.
Yeah,
it's easy to get all caught up in the fun activities, but not thinking about, well, what if something happens?
Yeah.
Are we prepared for the what ifs?
Yeah.
And we usually are the ones that show up when someone has that what if incident.
Exactly. So help us understand a little bit more how Fire District 4 is part of the Valley, and how all of the different emergency medical services, how they all work together.
Okay. Well, Fire District 4 is what we call a special purpose district, and it's legislatively created to provide fire and EMS services to the citizens of the geographical boundary. And our geographical boundary for Fire District 4, because we're one of 10 different fire departments in Walla County.
Okay.
There's 2 municipal fire departments, which is College Place and Walla Walla. And then there are 8 different fire districts in Walla County. And so we're number 4, and where the 4 comes from is when they created fire districts, which was in the mid-1940s, they created the legislation to initiate that. It all started by when the organization started in the county. So we were the number 4th fire district in the counties. Both cities had organized fire departments before that, but in Walla County we were number 4, and so that's hence why we have the 4th one. And our jurisdictional boundary provides service around the cities of Walla Walla and College Place, and basically south of Highway 12 is kind of our northern boundary. Our southern boundary is the Washington-Oregon border, and then east we go to the foothills, to the mountains, and then we go west about 10 miles, almost to Loudon. So it's roughly 125 square miles, and there's a population of about 9,500 people that we serve on a daily basis. And so our primary mission is to, provide fire and EMS services to those citizens in their time of need.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, as you've described this area, it's big.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
It's
yes.
big.
Yeah.
And staff here, Rocky, how many?
So in District 4 we have 5 fire stations, and we're called a combination department because we have a combination of career and volunteers. And our department is heavily reliant upon volunteers. So we have approximate staff of about 75, and the majority of them are volunteers that work a job outside of the fire service, and when the pager goes off, they respond to the station and jump on the apparatus as needed. But we do have a core group of men and women that are career firefighters here and paramedics, and they staff this station along with some of our resident firefighters. And so we try and maintain about anywhere from 3 to 6 people on duty at this station all the time. The other 4 fire stations that we have are volunteer stations. And so this is what we call our staffed and our dedicated station. So this station responds to all of our calls in the district so that we know that we have a response heading to someone's emergency.
Wow.
Yeah, and our men and women train a lot. It's a big requirement for them to get started.
I'm hearing some right now. There's an ambulance over here, and I'm hearing some training right now.
Yes, and they're doing a great job. But to be a firefighter, you have to go through a structural academy on the structure side, and that's a 2 or 3 month program. For
intense,
It
right?
is. It is 2 nights a week and almost every Saturday. But going into a structure fire is intense, and so we want to make sure that our members are well trained before we put them in that area where it's a dangerous atmosphere, and they need to know what to do in there. On the EMS side, which is a large portion, it's the majority of what we do in the fire service now.
That's emergency medical services.
Yes, and the demand for emergency medical services continues to increase.
Yes.
It's about 68 to 70% of what we do is EMS related.
Okay.
So, and you think about that, one of the things that fire and why EMS works so well in fire is that fire stations are placed strategically throughout the community for a fast response to your fire emergency. Right. And so that's why having a medical-based component added to that has been a good fit for the fire service.
Sure.
Because EMS really didn't get started in the fire service until the mid-70s.
Isn't that interesting to think about that?
It's a fairly young. It's a fairly young jurisdiction, I guess I would say.
So tell us how, like College Place and Walla Walla, how those fire departments then work with you, how all 3 work with the county, and then the 2 municipalities.
Correct. So we have a great working relationship with our counterparts and all of our jurisdictional partners in Walla County, because we're all so close, especially between Walla Walla, College Place, and us. You can drive down a street and 1 minute you're in one, and the
Yes,
next you're in
right.
another one. And so it's really important that we do work together. Many of our members have come from one of the other departments, whether they're volunteered or career moved on. So we have a really great relationship, and we spend a lot of time training together. We have a training consortium that works together to do a lot of joint training where our training officers get together. We jointly funded some major upgrades to our drill tower in the last couple years because we all use the drill tower over off of Cayuse Street.
So drill tower meaning like you have.
It's a training facility.
Okay,
and
for
it's
fires,
yes,
for- okay.
we can put live fire in there. They can do search and rescue training,
Oh, wow.
rappel training. And so that was a big investment that we partnered with the three agencies to
Good.
upgrade the city of Walla Walla's one. And then on the response side, we have automatic aid agreements that we use for structure fires to where if there is a structure fire, then there's either the partnering agency or both. So, and just for example, earlier today, there was a structure fire reported in College Place, and College Place was dispatched, an engine from us, and then the engine from City of Walla Walla was dispatched. And the whole goal is to get a group of members there quickly so that we can start getting the work done that needs to be done. And it takes, through national standards, we're required to put about 16 firefighters on every structure fire in order for us to
16.
Yes, in order for us to safely do all of the tasks
Wow.
that need to be done, you know, command, attack,
Right,
backup, search and
right.
rescue, water supply, rehab, safety officer, all of those positions need to be filled, and then you need to have people that are ready to relieve them when they've,
Sure.
when they've
Right.
expended some significant energy. And so that's what we try to do. That's why we share resources so that we can put the required number of firefighters on the scene
Very
in
important.
a very quick
Very
time
important.
frame.
Very important. So speaking of that, and we're surrounded here by lots of vehicles and all of that, but you have a new piece of equipment that you've gotten here in the Valley.
Yeah, so one of the things that we'll be training on later this week, and it's not a piece of equipment that the fire department owns.
Okay.
The Corps of Engineers purchased, it's an inflatable raft, boat, whatever you want to say, but they saw a need up at Bennington Lake, which most people are familiar with Bennington Lake. It's a very nice recreating area up there with a beautiful lake and trails around there, and so the majority of our public spend at least some time up there recreating. But we've never had, in the emergency world service, we've never had a boat to access on water incidents. And so with the annual Onion Man Triathlon that takes place up there, that continues to grow with our number of participants, they approached the Corps and said, we'd like to partner with you to try and help put a boat together. And so through collaboration, which is really important between the Corps of Engineers, City of Walla Walla, Fire District 4 put a little bit in, the Blue Mountain Endurance,
Oh, okay.
which hosts the Onion Man, they put in some little
Funding.
supplies, not necessarily funding, but
Okay.
kind of some in-kind side of supplies, where they were able to acquire this boat. The Corps
Good.
acquired the boat. City of Walla Walla was able to put a trailer on it, so it's a quick access boat that can go up there now and make access to the water. And we're actually having some training on that coming up later this week for the emergency responders, so that they are familiar with how to operate the boat and can deploy it quickly in the event of an incident with that. And so
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it is. It's really
that's good.
good. We have several calls each year for some type of incident around or at the lake. And fortunately, we don't have many that are in the lake, but now we have the availability to be on the water.
Good.
And that boat can be available for other areas. It's not just dedicated towards Bennington Lake.
Okay.
So if it's needed at any other, body of water here locally, it's a tool that can be used.
So as we sit here, Rocky, and thank you for your time and sharing all of this, what is maybe one thing that, and I'm sure there are more than one thing, but what's one thing that you would like to have someone who is watching this to understand about the fire department, the services, what they can do to prevent something?
Yeah. You know, the one thing that I really would like people to take home is that we do not have the belief that it can never happen to you, because it can, a fire, a accident can happen to all of us. Now, there's a lot of things that we can do to minimize that risk, you know, through fire prevention, through you know, checking all your hazards at home and making sure you don't have any of the fire hazards, making sure you have a working smoke detector, you know, make sure on the medical side that you're having regular visits with your doctor and checkups and so forth. But the biggest thing is that just be aware that it can happen to any one of us. And the more that we think about preventing whatever emergency is out there, the better off that we will be.
Good advice. So we're all a kid at heart. What's your favorite piece of equipment here?
My favorite piece of equipment. You know, I would have to say for me, I grew up out in the country, and I still live out there. But rural wildland firefighting is it's a challenge to fight those fires. And I would say the wildland truck is probably one of my favorite pieces of apparatus.
And it has water on board?
It does, it does. And then we also have another piece of equipment. We have our dozer that we use in the summertime to cut fire line, and really helps with trying to control those wildland fires. So those two pieces of equipment are ones that are probably my favorite.
And why do you get up every morning and do what you do? For how many years?
So I've been doing this for 35 years. And one thing that I think we're all called to, if we really enjoy our profession, we met the calling of what we're supposed to do. And for me, I didn't come by this necessarily as my first choice, but I started volunteering and realized that, wow, I can really make an impact, and I enjoy helping people. And so that was, by starting to volunteer, is what brought me into looking at doing this as a full-time career. And what I enjoy about it is that every day is different, but you get to help people, and you get to make a difference at some level in everybody's lives every day. And it may not be the most heroic incident where you're saving somebody. It may just be reaching out and holding someone's hand in the back of one of these ambulances, providing that comfort, providing that calmness when you have an emergency. When you have an emergency responder that arrives and is collected, calm, and educated, it's going to make the patient and the citizen feel that so much better. And I love what I do to this day as much as I did when I first started.
Well, thank you, Rocky Eastman, and know that when I hear a fire engine and I hear a siren, I say a prayer. So know that there's someone praying for all of you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank
well,
you. Appreciate that.
Thank you for all you do for Walla Walla.
Oh, you're welcome. It's my pleasure.
So Andy from Walla Walla Parks and Recreation, great to be chatting with you today. What kinds of things do we have available, I think particularly for youth, in our community through Parks and Rec?
Yes, we offer a lot of, obviously, facilities that youth can enjoy, but also programming. We have three full-time staff that provide programs for youth. So a lot of it is youth sports. Like currently, we have a fall soccer league that has over 1,000 kids participating, and it's a lot of kids.
That is a lot.
It is.
I don't even know how you keep track of that.
It's an undertaking. I used to be the guy running that program, so I can relate to what it takes to pull that off. It's like organizing a small city, honestly.
Yes.
It's a lot of work. So that's ages kindergarten through 8th grade.
A lot of kids having fun, though. Soccer's so popular.
Yeah. And then from an administrative side, it can be a headache sometimes putting that all together, but when you go out there and you see, we have 12 fields in one spot, so when you go out there and you see all the people and the kids with smiles on their faces, it makes all that hard work worthwhile. So yeah, just building lasting memories and teaching them. I mean, that's one thing I'm passionate about in youth sports, just teaching kids life skills that they'll take with them forever. Only a very small percentage, as you well know, get to do that professionally, but a lot of people gain a lot of life skills that we take with us to our careers and forever in our lives. Yeah.
For sure. And the memorial pool is actually under Parks and Rec.
Yes, it is.
Which took me a while to realize.
Yes, it is one of our facilities, and so we have been operating the new memorial pool since 2017. It's been fun to be a part of that, even from the
it's so
the
popular.
design.
People love it.
Yes, they really do. And when we planned the facility and put together our budget projections, we thought after 2-3 years that some of the newness of the facility wear off and our participation might drop a little bit.
Yeah.
But that hasn't been the case. Pretty much every year it gains more popularity, which is kind of surprising. I mean, it's outstanding.
So it's a good
it's
thing.
a good problem if you want to call it a problem. But
well, is it sometimes? I mean, are there like so many people there that it's just too many sometimes?
Well, we have a cap of 500 people inside the facility at once. So sometimes we are at capacity, so we have to have a line outside, which when it's 100 degrees, we don't have, sometimes we bring out some shades, some umbrellas to provide shade, but just it can be hot when people are out there waiting to get in. So that can be a little problematic, a few times throughout the year where the facility is full and they have to wait for somebody to come out before somebody new can come in.
Sure.
So that has been a problem at times, but it's not a daily problem. So, but yeah, and also you can imagine we staff it with a lot of high school kids.
It's jobs.
Or lifeguards, yes, and so they have a lot of lives in their hands. All those people in the water, and so you have some risk there with from a city risk management standpoint. You have these young kids who are supervising and lifeguarding the
and responsible.
Yes, and all those people in the water. But so, to be the person behind the scenes managing that facility, there's a lot of challenges, but our staff do a great job providing a great facility for the community.
Some of the other, we mentioned soccer, but you probably cover all the main sports, right?
Yeah, pretty much. We have flag football, we have, like I said, soccer, we have softball.
Softball, yeah.
There's other camps. Lacrosse, we've been doing some lacrosse camps, which is growing in Walla. We do, and we have a fencing class.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I know you have a unique one because my kids did that one.
Yes, we just try to provide a variety of activities for
and
kids.
that's so cool to have fencing, which not every place has,
Right.
I remember my kids saying, wouldn't it be cool to learn how to do that? You probably have to live in a big city, and then doing a little Googling and finding out they could do it right here at home.
You have a great instructor. Yes, a great following there. And, not everybody's an athlete. They might try it, but they're like, hey, that's not for us. So we try to offer some other programs, arts and those classes
pottery.
as well. Pottery, we have a pottery painting studio at the senior center that's for all ages. So just provide a variety of activities to keep kids busy and just provide great experiences and lifelong memories for families. So.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about why having a program like this is important to a community when we're trying to be a healthy community together.
Exactly.
Why is it valuable?
Yeah, that's Parks and Recreation is tied in with cities and have public safety and which typically gets the primary funding, right? But I think the pandemic helped raise the awareness of what we need, what people need. They need to be active. They need to be social.
Yes.
And so I think that'll raise the awareness of it. And we're lucky. The city council here is very supportive of what we do. So we provide. It's about 200,000 visits to recreation programs that we see in our programs annually. So
that's significant.
Yeah, it is significant. That doesn't include all the park visits either. That's just recreation programs, that planned programs. So
we didn't really talk about that. Just the parks themselves as spaces.
Absolutely.
That's part of what you're doing too.
It is, absolutely. And we had some data that from a company that we were talking to recently that there's just under 300,000 visits to Pioneer Park on an annual basis. They project based on the data that they're able to capture, which is a lot of visits to just that one park.
I've had some great picnics there.
Yeah, it's a very obviously a very nice park. Our staff do a great job maintaining it, but it's a destination for a lot of people.
So seriously, one of my earliest memories is a visit, because we didn't live in Walla Walla at the time.
Oh, really?
When my family made, I was probably 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
And it was the pond, the duck pond there. And
Nice.
I don't know why, that's just one of my very earliest memories. And when I came back to college here, years later, and I saw that pond, I realized that was the place that I was remembering.
Yeah. Very cool.
It's a cool space.
Yeah. We have so many great parks that are funded well by the city council and supported well by the community as well. So, it's fun to be a part of this city and this department because we have so many great things going, even some new projects where we're just finishing up building eight new pickleball courts at Mill Creek Sportsplex. Which will
that's
open.
a popular sport.
Yes, very
Yes.
much so. It's the fastest growing sport in the country.
Yes.
So we're at the 6 courts we have at Pioneer Park have outgrown their capacity there. So there's a lot of pickleballers anxious to get on those new courts.
I have a friend in his 80s who just loves pickleball, and it's
a great
keeping him
sport.
young, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. People of all ages can play that sport. So, and rebuilding Heritage Square Park downtown on Main Street. Construction started this week.
Yes, that's good news.
Yeah, it is great news. Yes, we've been able to do some great things in the last few years, thanks to the support of our city council.
You know, I think that Walla Walla is a very unique community in the best way.
Yeah.
Really, really love it. And these things that you've been talking about with us today are a huge piece of why it's special, why people like it here, why they find connections here.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's fun to be a part of it. It really is. And yeah, quality of life is what it's kind of our bread and butter in the valley, and my department is part of that. And the folks that work in the department are passionate about providing great services.
For sure. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you.
Love chatting with you about this.
Thank you very much.
How incredible are the men and women who make up these two core organizations. They find ways to help us have fun and are there when we need help. They find ways to help us have fun and are there when we need help. They provide opportunities for the best summers and are there year-round for us in our worst moments. They are core to the fulfilling lives we enjoy here in our valley, a part of the magic of home. Have fun, stay safe. Despite it all, my mom heart still clings to fear for my children. It is then that I turn to a biblical passage that comforts me. Cast all your anxieties on him because he cares for you. When we send our children and grandchildren out to have fun, they are surrounded by great places to go and capable people to help. And most of all, they are cared for by the God of the universe as well. So just a reminder as we head into summer, have fun and stay safe, and remember the best of Walla Walla are here to help on both counts. I wonder if they'll let me drive this thing. I'm going to go ask. See you next week on our next episode of Hometown.